Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and Jeanine Pirro is dropping the hammer. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. You have to be tough with criminals. If you are not, then you're going to create more criminals. It's actually a very simple thing. I think these Democrat cities either don't care or haven't picked up on it yet. When you don't enforce the law, you make the law essentially meaningless. Now, let's take, for example, in certain places in California, Los Angeles, where you can shoplift X amount of dollars and nobody can do anything about it. They might, well, I guess they could if they want, but they're not going to. So if you own a store in Los Angeles, you pretty much know that you can get robbed every single day and you're going to be out your life's work. You're going to lose your business because you're not going to be able to afford to pay your employees because people are essentially allowed to steal. Yes, there is a law and there is an enforcement mechanism, but under a certain amount of money, they really don't enforce it. That's bonkers, right? Well, Jeanine Pirro in Washington, D.C., which for a long time has been kind of lawless. Jeanine Pirro is dropping the hammer, and she is telling the people who are messing with the reflecting pool and other renovations in D.C. and other monuments that they now will face up to 10 years behind bars if they continue to do what they're doing and they're caught. And sometimes you have to make an example. Sometimes you have to arrest one of these people, grab them up by the scruff, put them in front of the whole world, in front of the whole country, and prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law, get the sentence, and show everybody this is what can happen to you if you keep violating the law. Because if you don't enforce the laws, you might as well not have them. Jeanine Pirro is tough. I love that about her. And that's what President Donald Trump loves about her, too. I want you to watch this and let me know what you think in the comments.
And not the real victims.
No, they're worried about illegal aliens. That's what they're worried about. That's the most thing they're most worried about. Illegal alien criminals.
Yeah.
Judge, on the issue with the monuments, President Trump has been very clear that on our 250th birthday, people are coming into town to celebrate. He wanted to beautify this city, which I think is a very worthy goal.
Yeah.
Now, we have more people, more security watching these monuments to make sure they're not vandalized. What can you tell the American people tonight about the state of the reflecting pool? Is it possible to keep it clean? I know there's a lot of debate about you can't even keep it clean if you wanted to. And
well, I don't know much about the construction of the reflecting pool and the algae and all the other stuff. But what I can tell you is that the park police are very much on top of what's going on, that there have been many citations issued, and that my office will be prosecuting any crimes. And let anyone who comes to this district who thinks that he or she is going to vandalize the reflecting pool or any kind of monument, you're facing 10 years in prison. So don't get smart, because we're on the lookout for them, and I'm happy to prosecute.
But you know what I also thought was very just sad, Judge, is that I remember 1976. That was just such a time of great joy with all the terrible things that had just happened.
Yeah,
the Vietnam War. You had Richard Nixon. You
Yeah.
had the national malaise. You had an economy that was in real tatters. But the people came together and they celebrated our country.
Yep.
And politicians, it was all set aside for the birthday of the country.
Yeah. And you know what? What we're facing now is a nation that's not full of people who love America. And it's slowly been dissipating, where it's okay to say that you hate America.
Schools.
And on the road to hating America is you hate capitalism and you hate all of this meritocracy. And the truth is, unless we turn it around, we're going the way of socialism and ultimately communism. President Trump is right.
You see that cartoon in the Babylon Bee where the Cubans are now leaving New York to try to flee communism, going back to Cuba? That was actually funny, but it was sad. Judge, it is great to see you on this incredible week. Thank you so much. And coming up, the flag tells the whole story of today's Democrat Party.